Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Singapore, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all. On behalf of the ASEAN Studies Center of the ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute, I want to just warmly welcome you to this 37th ASEAN Roundtable on the theme, which Mo has already mentioned, 55 years on, is ASEAN still relevant in the changing global order? It is really wonderful that we can gather physically once again after 2 years of having this flagship event in a virtual format. Nevertheless, the pandemic experience has taught us that many from overseas are interested in this event, and so I would also like to welcome those of you who are participating online from across the world. ISEAS considers both the audiences here in Singapore as well as those in the region and beyond as important stakeholders of our work. Today's roundtable is timely as ASEAN celebrates its 55th anniversary since its founding in 1967. ASEAN's achievements across the 3 community pillars have been remarkable. Considering the diversity of this region and its tumultuous history prior to its formation, ASEAN has to be praised for its efforts in institutionalizing cooperation through various integration frameworks, instruments, and ASEAN-led mechanisms that have drawn all major powers to support its centrality. The entering into force of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, this year is an excellent example of an ASEAN initiative that has not only gone against the grain of protectionism and deglobalization in the last decade, but also helped to bolster a much-needed economic recovery post-pandemic. The success of ASEAN has also been recognized by countries around the world, with more external parties seeking formal partnerships with ASEAN and to accede to its Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia, or TAC. The TAC embodies the important principle of peaceful coexistence, including mutual respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, something which is even more critical in these days of global uncertainty. Despite all this success, it is also very pertinent to ask whether ASEAN can continue to sustain its record as it faces pressing questions on its relevance, unity, and cohesiveness amidst today's geopolitical and strategic developments. It is not an exaggeration to say that ASEAN faces a changing global order that undermines and threatens its very existence. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has altered the global rules-based international order and shaken the foundation and principles that ASEAN is founded on. Intensifying US-China rivalry has also increased uncertainty in the world and has compounded internal fault lines within the regional grouping. Beyond geopolitical rivalries, the region is also facing other challenges, including the need to recover from the pandemic, ongoing stubborn inflationary pressures, stalling global trade momentum compounded by fragility in supply chains, and a shortening time frame in which to deal with both the causes and effects of climate change. To top it all off, ASEAN has also been saddled with tough decisions to be made on how to deal with the situation in Myanmar and the accession of Timor-Leste, although the former is actually a much bigger issue, a more complicated issue than the latter. Today's roundtable will unpack some of these issues and examine the key challenges facing ASEAN, including the maritime versus continental Southeast Asia divide, which threatens to deepen internal cleavages within ASEAN. At the same time, our panels will also identify ways to further strengthen ASEAN's institutional capacity as ASEAN embarks on its community post-2025 vision. To kick off today's event, we are really very honored that Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Singapore, will later on deliver the keynote message. He will no doubt have much to counsel ASEAN, as Singapore has always played a strategic role in guiding ASEAN's development. We are also privileged to have with us many distinguished experts, including Professor Kishore Mahbubani, Ambassador Ong Keng Yong, Dr. Marty Natalegawa, Professor Devi Fortuna Anwar, Ambassador Phang Quang Vinh, Ms. Alpana Roy, Dr. Evan Laxmana, Ms. Siatan Hansakul, as well as our very own ISEAS Senior Fellows. We are also extremely grateful for the support from Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, without which the Roundtable would not have been possible in its present form. Now, please allow me to pass the floor to Mr. Andreas Michael Klein, Director of Political Dialogue Asia at Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, so that he can make his opening remarks. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Director Choi, Excellency Vivian Balakrishnan, dear Excellencies in the room, experts, ISEAS community, friends of ISEAS and of the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. It is my great pleasure to being able to welcome you all at this highly relevant and timely conference, which is the annual centerpiece of a wonderful and long-standing cooperation between the Yusof Ishak Institute and the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. And for those who may be not that familiar with the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, maybe just allow me a few words to describe what we are doing. The Konrad Adenauer Foundation is a German foundation running a network of 100 offices throughout the world, promoting democracy, the rule of law, and international cooperation. Singapore is the home of the Regional Political Dialogue Program of the Konrad Adenauer Foundation since 20 years. And please allow me this personal remark, as I'm, so to say, the new kid on the block, just having moved here 4 months ago. And this is my altogether like the fourth transition from Germany back to Germany in offices abroad. And the transition to Singapore has been by far the smoothest transition I've experienced so far with my family. And that is including countries in Europe and Latin America, not so much in Asia yet, as this is my first post, but I'm very grateful for this transition, talking in bureaucratical terms, but also talking about our cooperation with partners here in Singapore, and ISEAS certainly is the most prominent of our partner in Singapore. And the Konrad Adenauer Foundation and the Yusof Ishak Institute have established this cooperation many years ago, and since then have worked closely together to realize a significant number of events and publications, all of which of outstanding quality and relevance, not least thanks to the great expertise gathered at ISEAS. It is this great expertise that ISEAS is known and appreciated for in Singapore and throughout the region. And we as Konrad Adenauer Foundation, we are proud to partner with them and are hopeful that we will continue on this course for years to come. And another personal remark, all I know about the region so far, I know from the publication and the expertise at the ISEAS Institute. So thank you very much for the constant consultation over the past months since I've arrived in Singapore. It is the expertise I've referred to which also fills me with great confidence that the event today will once again be an ASEAN Roundtable to be remembered. And we are gathering here under this theme of the Roundtable for the 37th time. And once again, the topic chosen is at the same time challenging as it is timely and important. We are facing a difficult and uncertain time, and while I would imagine that most here in this room agree that ASEAN should play a significant role in overcoming today's uncertainties and challenges, the question posed here is whether it is still playing this role. Unity and cohesiveness of ASEAN are under particular strain, both from within the organization and from the outside. With an international system increasingly marked by bipolar competition between two great powers that jostle for influence amid the changing global order. ASEAN is, of course, home, the center even, of the geographic and political center stage of this competition, the Indo-Pacific region. And I'm very much looking forward to the discussion on the ASEAN outlook on the Indo-Pacific and how ASEAN centrality can be safeguarded, for example, amidst the proliferation of minilateral groupings, which have been both the potential to harm and to help multilateralism as an effective way of cooperation in the international system. Challenges, even struggle, contain, as everyone knows, a seed, at least for opportunities. And ASEAN has the tools to turn these opportunities into something tangible. It must not be confined to the role of a bystander who passively observes how the order is changing and then plays the hand it is dealt. ASEAN can have relevance and act to show functioning multilateralism as it has done in the past. But we need more than optimism and good words. Therefore, over the course of today, we will speak on security, economy, community, and even venture out to talk on the future of ASEAN post-2025. The agenda is as intriguing as it is ambitious, but with this line of speakers, including, of course, His Excellency Marty Natalegawa, whose work in and on ASEAN has always been of outstanding relevance. I'm of the utmost confidence that this ASEAN Roundtable will once again deliver on its expectation as one of the major annual events of the Yusof Ishak Institute here in Singapore. Once again, and with great appreciation of the fruitful and excellent cooperation we at the Konrad Adenauer Foundation have with the ISEAS, I wish us all a productive, enjoyable, and stimulating conference today. Thank you very much.